What's happening, everyone? Before this next leg of podcast show starts, this is a reminder to you not to be a minge bag. Go over to Patreon, sign up for £1 a week and take advantage of all the Patreon perks. It is the Patreon that pays. We have a betting show on a Saturday, which the postman here is picking winners every single week.
Yeah, the betting show comes out Saturday mornings, covers UFC and boxing, footy when we're in the footy season. But yeah, we're winning on a weekly basis. I can't remember the last week we didn't find some sort of winner. So yeah, as Andy says, don't be a minge bag, come and get involved. And as I say, it's one of the best communities that you could be a part of, isn't it?
It's a belter. As well as the betting show on a Wednesday, me and Jord have a chat. That's where you might have seen on our Insta Reels about crocs, about harpooning people at the end of the night, all that kind of chat that goes on. And even better, every single Wednesday we do a raffle draw, and our sponsors Montrex give £100 gift voucher away just for being on Patreon. No better time to join. There's 30 plus episodes already that you can go back and watch. Again, no better time. Get involved. Don't be a minge bag. £1 a week, and we'll see you there. What's happening, everyone? It's the Sportcast. It's me, Andy Grant.
It's me, Jordan Neild.
First off, a little bit of apologies for the last 2 weeks. Before you don't even start umming at me. Number one, I was away on holiday. Everyone's allowed on holiday.
Well, you have about 10 a year, so...
Last week, I was sick, was in the gym, went a bit too hard, was driving to the podcast, I had to pull over my car and spewed me ring up in my car. Said to Jord, lad, I can't do it right now, I need to go home. Show me life, how can you do this afternoon? He said, no, I'm busy. Unfortunately, it didn't get done. Someone on Twitter had a little pop.
Yeah, said, give it up, lads.
Give it up, lads, because I missed fucking 2 weeks. Are they on Patreon then?
Believe so.
Are they?
Believe so.
If you're on Patreon, I don't mind you moaning.
I don't know.
But if you like the show, but you don't pay for it, you can't moan.
I recognise the Twitter handle, so I think it's someone definitely who interacts quite a lot with the show.
Well, listen,
but he told us to
pack it in,
effing give it in.
Give it a fuck. I don't do this for I do it because I enjoy talking to you, but I'm not doing it for fucking anyone's. Got a beer in me bonnet, that did, lad.
Did it?
Well, I just fucking thought, fucking hell, I was sick.
Yeah, you were sick like that. That picture you sent was grim. But
yeah, anyway. Good vibes only.
As producer Mus said, you were on your last strike, lad, so you got till Crimbo. No more.
Then they get reset, do they, lad?
No more oldies.
Yeah, massive thanks again, Montrex, our sponsors. You get 15% off if you type in Leggy. No, it's not. That's a lie. Ignore
it's
that.
10% off, but we need to redo the code because the code has not been working. I think it got spread around student forums. So we've got to get a new thing. So rather than people who are listening to our show using the code, people in Bulgarian universities were using it.
Yeah. But they are still our sponsors, and they do give away £100 every week on Patreon. You've got Ver Clothing, they give away 20% if you type in Leg at 20. You've got Health Kick Kitchen, which I'm looking forward to picking up as soon as this show is finished.
Oh yeah.
And we've also got a little new one, little German farmer. So basically I'm on a bit of a health kick, and they're giving 10% if you type in Leggy at checkout, and all the gear, all your supplements, your vitamins, all that kind of stuff. So I'm drinking what looks like piss, but it's just a proper
hydration.
Yeah. Oh, lad, I'm taking about 6 tablets a day, a couple of drinks a day.
Oh yeah? Nice. I'm on a health kick as well.
I know. Well, you obviously I seen you, and I was like, not having George start becoming the fit one here, lad.
I was in when I stepped on the scales first time and weren't good.
I don't do the scales, you know.
I don't care about them, but I needed to know where I was starting from.
Oh yeah, you needed a start point.
So we started last Monday, and we've done £4, I think, or £5.
Nice, lads.
So we need. Well, it was depression, but yeah, they're just
start somewhere, lad.
But yeah, trying to be on a health kick, trying to hit 10,000 steps a day. If anyone else does 10,000 steps a day, it's quite hard if you don't have a dog. I want to know people who don't have a dog do it.
Yeah.
My dog gets me like at least 7,000 of them.
Yeah.
Because the other day when I couldn't get out on a dog walk, Emily had to do it. I was nowhere near it.
Yeah, you're like 3 or 4 or something.
Yeah, it's mad.
Some days I'm about 1,500, lad.
But like, sometimes when I'm listening to a podcast or just got my headphones in on a dog walk, I can be out for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
And I didn't realise. And every time I get home, Emily's like, where have you been? And I was like, I was just walking the dog. But then when you start tracking it, you're like, fucking hell, 2 hours.
Yeah. Just left your fucking missus and 3 kids at home.
Nothing's changed there.
So as always, we're going to be talking a bit of footy, golf, tennis, you've got athletics, bit of snooker, UFC, boxing. But if it's all right, George, there's a bit of an overview of just hypocrisy in all of sport. And there's a great little Twitter thread I'll pull up at some point, which is brilliant. It's like so funny. it's like how quickly we forget about things. Do you know what I mean?
Mate, yeah.
I don't know whether shall I start with it actually.
Should do it, yeah. Although it's probably going to take up half the show.
It won't. It'll be just dead quick, right?
For last week, by the way, just before, we had loads of suggestions on Patreon about stuff on the Sportcast that we didn't get to do because you decided to be sick. So we will do them at the end as well. For those waiting.
So I basically found a Twitter thread, and it's just about like the crazy French Football Federation and how, like, you know, how quickly we forget about things. So Karim Benzema's just won the Ballon d'Or, caps off an incredibly weird, sexual charged and occasionally glorious decade of French football, from blackmail to organ harvesting. Here's a recap of the most colourful moments in French's sinister sexual... Harvesting? Oh lad, you've not heard right. 2013, remember Eric Abidal?
Yeah.
So he makes a triumphant return to football after a liver transplant. He claimed the organ was from his cousin, but Barcelona's president, Sandro Rosell, is taped discussing the purchase of an illegal liver. Abidal is now under investigation for organ trafficking.
Is he? Still. Organ... What, right, means lads, he nicks someone's fucking lung?
We need to get through that. Like,
get your lung out.
Honestly. So Karim Benzema and Frank Ribery, remember they went on trial accused of shagging an underage prostitute called Zaya Bahar. Apparently she was flown to Munich as a birthday present for Ribery. They've later been acquitted after denying that they knew her age, and she's now become a national celebrity. This is Benzema just won the Player of the Year. In a French training camp in 2015, Benzema slipped into the room of Mathieu Valbuena,
yeah, they were best mates, weren't they?
And he urged him to pay off a group of his mates who had hold of the winger's sex tape.
Yeah, I remember
he said, "Be careful, Mathieu, they are big thugs." He was later convicted of blackmail. 2016, a star-studded French team lose the Euros final in a game mildly disrupted by a swarm of moths. Paul Pogba's brother claims that the midfielder was to blame, having paid a witch doctor to summon a plague of butterflies to sabotage his opponents.
I've seen that. Have you ever seen the clip that you might be on there? Pogba's brother said that Pogba put like a witchcraft thing allegedly on Mbappe in some game, and then the clip from Mbappe in the game, he's like falling over the ball.
Yeah, that's on here as well, lad. A selfie video emerges from France's age group of Arsenal's William Saliba. He was in like under 21s. In a full team tracksuit, sat behind a naked man who's masturbating while watching porn on his phone.
What?
Glad gets
Don't
worse.
Go to France.
PSG's women's star, Kira Hamore, I think it is Hamoru, is attacked by a group of masked men who batter her with iron bars, paying special attention to her legs. Midfield rival Diallo takes her spot in a team and is later charged with masterminding the assault.
Yeah, remember that was heavy.
In the aftermath of the attack, it emerges that Eric Abidal, with his new fucking liver,
he's running around giving it loads.
Now PSG sporting director and fit as a fiddle thanks to his new liver, has been having a secret affair with her. The dirty dog is then sacked by PSG and his wife files for divorce.
Abidal's a bad man, isn't
he? Yeah. A current French international had a party where he decided to poo in people's mouths while filming it.
What?
Honestly,
this is just the French national team?
This is just the French national team.
Ballon d'Or for Karim?
Yeah.
That's mad, that.
Remember
hypocrisy lives.
What was his name, lad? The lad who Sami Nazi, remember him?
Yeah. Do you know how fat he is now?
He paid a visit to a drip doctor for an injection of nutrients, and then he later posted a string of tweets. He put, "You also provided me with a full sexual service straight after our fucking injections. This whore comes round and fucks the same night." And then he was later banned for doping.
Fuck me.
Griezmann once dressed up as one of the Harlem Globetrotters, like,
yeah, I remember
painted
that.
himself fucking black. Benzema, Pogba apparently paid 4 million to get that Mbappe cursed. 4 million euros he paid to a witch doctor.
After all this, though, they've still got the greatest celebration. Have you ever seen that celebration?
Yeah, after the World Cup, yeah.
That's a great video, that.
There's a famous French journalist who claims that more than half the French squad are addicted to laughing gas.
What, the balloons?
The balloons, yeah.
They wouldn't look out of place in town.
I know. French
Eric Abidal's getting right on it with the lads.
The French FA president is 80, and he's just apparently a bad creep and just like coming on to everyone.
Is Eric Abidal French?
Yeah, it's all about French. So Kurt Zouma as well, he got fined £250,000 for booting a cat.
Yeah.
Lad, just a
bad squad, that. So what you're talking about, the hypocrisy that we can now call one of the leading lights of that weird group of men, the best footballer in the world.
And just also like the pedestal we put these footballers on.
Yeah. Once you hit football, mate, and you hit that amount of money, the rules need not apply.
And you can shit in each other's mouths if you want.
If that's what fucking
that's your
floats
thing.
your boat.
That's your thing.
Yeah. Do you know what? Through all of them crazy situations you just spoke about, footballers being involved in them does not surprise me one bit. They're just a backwards gang of weirdos.
So if hypocrisy can be just like the kind of the backbone of this thing, because obviously we're going to talk about boxing,
oh my God,
golf, the football.
See Eddie on Talksport.
Do you want to start on boxing for a minute? Do you reckon we normally end on it? Or?
I don't, but yeah, let's do it. We'll end with what's coming up this week. But did you see Eddie? I don't listen to Talksport. I've seen a clip on Twitter.
Well, I listened to it actually live. I was actually on Twitter and it said Eddie Hearn coming up next on Talksport, so I just threw Talksport on and listened to it. I was a bit pissed off that he didn't get thrown on with Simon Jordan, to be honest. He was there with Laura Woods, who as much as I love Laura, she fucking, that's his boss, that's her boss. She's not going to start grilling her boss.
Yeah.
So I didn't like the line of questioning how easy it was.
He's never going to go on with Jim White and Simon Jordan, though, because as much as people like them, they twist things for their own agenda. So he's never going to do that because he knows it's just going to end up in an argument, isn't it? And then he looks shit.
Lad, whether you like him or hate him, Simon Jordan's a clever man. And he's probably the only one I'd trust to interview Eddie Hearn and get good answers from him.
Nah. I think there's better. One, he needs to go to an actual journalist, someone who can ask fucking real, proper questions. Simon Jordan's bread is still buttered by these people somewhere down the line. He's still always a couple of rows back. He's still always at the big fights. He doesn't buy them tickets, mate. Simon Jordan doesn't wait for the tickets to come out and go, oh, I'm going to get my card out and go on Ticketmaster and go to the boxing.
I'm not saying he does, but I'm saying that there'll be journalists who are probably more in Eddie's pocket than Simon Jordan. Yeah,
the ones that have got the interviews to say that, but there's real, proper investigative journalists who do real good stuff, who could interview him and get proper answers out of him. Even the guy who leaked the story.
Simon Jordan, I think, would have been good because he could talk through the legal ramifications and that kind of thing. Like he's known in business and sport. I think he would have done a lot better job than Laura Woods and Ali McCoist.
Yeah, I mean, getting your employee to interview you is a shit move. But even what he said, I'm backing him because I might be backing him because he's my mate. That's just, and he's like, this is a fella who, when Jarrell Miller popped, who was not his mate but was his fighter, was talking about people can die here and was crying and stuff. And now he's going, oh, he's my mate, he deserves a second chance. He doesn't deserve any chance.
The hypocrisy of it all is just disgusting.
They're already swinging Conor Benn around to become the victim in all this.
I know.
That's what it's going to come out as.
No one's actually come out and actually had to go at him. I don't like from...
No.
Like,
only fans,
yeah.
And people who've got a platform that are basically ousted by Matchroom and stuff anyway. There's one boxing journalist called Rob Tebbe who started to ask questions and got 3 minutes with Eddie Hearn. IFL, who, you know, have always been close to Eddie, I think they got 50 minutes and didn't ask a single question. Not like, didn't say to him, what did Conor Benn fail for? When did you know? How come you didn't tell anyone? Where's the B sample? With no one's heard of on this fucking B sample. Yeah,
they were saying that it's still not. And Eddie Hearn as well, even when he was talking about the B sample, when I've heard him talk about other fighters' B samples, it's a completely different product. It's just completely different.
Well, Conor Benn, Nigel Benn and Chris Eubank Senior did an event together this week where they're together in front of a live crowd, and Nigel Benn said they knew 3 months ago. So it is what it. I mean, yeah, but Eddie's he is a hypocrite, and he's lost a lot of people who respected or backed him.
Yeah, lad, I loved him, lad. I thought he was great.
I think loads of people did. I thought and still think he's the best promoter in the game, but I always knew there was a shady side to him. Because you hear, you know, when you're around people, you hear things that he's done, said and promised and then never delivered. But he's still a great promoter. He's just a fucking slime ball.
Well, Conor Benn's now has he been withdrawn from, or he's...
Revoked his own licence. So I think he had questions to answer in front of the British Board of Control, but he doesn't think he's been given a fair assessment of what's gone on, so he's revoked his own licence, which means he's no longer licensed by the British Boxing Board of Control. He can no longer fight on any of their shows until this is sorted out. But he then released a statement in third person talking about Conor is feeling like this.
I see him on his Instagram.
Which is a bit weird. But yeah, apparently he's coming out this week to tell his side of the story and to tell things, but It's not about coming out and telling you. It's about being in front of someone who's going to ask you questions.
But his side of the story is there was something in his body that shouldn't be. Like, that.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's where you draw the line.
I don't get where the whole fraud about it is. It's like, you fucked up.
If Eddie Hearn sat on TalkSport and said, Conor took something unwillingly, didn't know it was in, but at the end of the day, it's in his system and that's the rules of the sport. He's my friend. I'm going to continue to back him, you know, even if he backs him financially. When he comes back in 2 years, I will still give him a platform to fight because I personally believe he's innocent. I don't believe he took EPO or whatever. That's just Eddie Hearn's opinion, which is fine. He deserves that. But it's the fact that he's now going, oh, you don't know the full story. You don't know this. He was like, you haven't seen a lad break down in an office. I was like, no, we haven't, but we don't need to.
No.
The facts are just there. That's like going into a trial, like a criminal trial, and going, like, your defence is, oh, but then they came round to my house after it and they were crying, you know. It's a bit sly, this. Do you know what I mean? Why don't we all just have a look at the real, you know, what happened
the
around
hard
it?
facts.
Yeah. There's only facts. That's it. There was something in his blood or whatever, his urine, that shouldn't have been there. Banned, done. See you later.
It's going to be dead interesting to see what happens the next few days and to see whether he does get backed again and fights again, because it's...
You get backed again, but he'll never ever be what they want.
Don't think he'd kind of hit the heights, really, of whether he would have had it in him to do it anyway.
Because I don't... Personally, I thought Conor was on a tear, but I never thought he'd reach, like, world level. So now he's probably going to get to that point without the backing and the support of being Britain's next coming. Do you know what I mean? It's going to be a hard road now because... he's lost, 50, 60, 70% of his fan base now with ease. Of the casual fan who backed him. Yeah. And that's probably Eddie's fault. Eddie's primary job is to build his client up, and he's probably done the opposite. He's turned more people against him just by being an absolute wet wipe. Yeah.
And that's still, you don't hear anything about all the fighters who were meant to be on the card as well.
That's the fucked up thing. Like, if they knew for 3 months and then... So he's basically looked at all them undercard fighters knowing there's a chance you're not getting paid, but I'm going to bring you anyway. Yeah. And fuck you if you don't.
That's fucking scum.
Whether he's give them money, but I know Ellie Scottney, who's on that card, she's fighting this weekend. I know he moved a few people, but still, it's not the fact. It's not the point, is it?
It's fucking wrong, isn't it?
But it shines probably in the light that he probably always should have been shone in.
Yeah. But boxing again, we'll talk about what's going to be happening this weekend and stuff, but...
We've got Fury Chisora as
well. What the fuck, lad? Hey.
Do you know, something sparked my memory, right, and I'll try and post the link or whatever. A couple of years ago when Tyson Fury was fat, right, he went to Monaco to watch Derek Chisora before he was coming, the comeback was on. And he was that big that just standing in a room, he had to carry a towel because he was constantly sweating, you know what I mean, all the time. And anyway, Chisora says to him, what are you doing? Are you coming back? And he goes, yeah, I'm coming back. And Chisora's like, whatever. And he's like, no, I'm coming back. I promised you a third fight, didn't I? And Chisora goes, yeah. And then, so that was like Monte Carlo years ago. And I think it's like, if people can find it, I'll try and post links, like 1 minute 20 in. So this is just a weird, mad favour between friends. That's going to, if that does 10,000 people at Tottenham, I'll be surprised.
I honestly would like someone to message me if they're going to buy that fight. I've not
heard or spoke to a person who's gone, yeah, I'm going yet. Tottenham's meant to be a nightmare to get to and from. It's fucking December.
Who's even going to buy it though with the pay-per-view?
Oh, no one.
No one?
They'll fabricate numbers, but no one. Because I will tell you now in October how that fight plays out. Fury will pose and slap him around for 2 rounds. Then he'll turn the gas off 3 and 4, and then the towel will come in about 5. And then Chisora will go, I was done, but it's a one last roll, and then he'll get paid and everyone will want it off. So if you can get a bet on Fury rounds 1 to 6, now I haven't even looked myself, you will make money before Kimbo, I promise you.
Boxing's just a shit show, lad.
Shit, innit?
Not interested, that's all in a minute.
I fucking hate it. I hate everything about it. They're all knobheads. But there's some good fights being made. Dillian White's back out.
Who's he fighting?
Jermaine Franklin, American. But Eddie...
Why isn't he not fighting the big puncher?
Wilder?
Yeah.
Wilder's just fresh off a fight, isn't he? But we haven't spoke since Wilder, have we?
That big fucking just come out of nowhere, didn't it? His knockout.
Yeah. But yeah, they're trying to set up... Eddie was talking this morning. They're trying to set up AJ versus Dillian White for the start of next year.
Well, lad, it's done. We've seen
That's
that, though.
just like Fiore Chisora, isn't it? We know exactly
It
what
doesn't get me blood flowing.
Nothing will get your blood flowing. The UFC will. Stick with, just float over there. But yeah, I mean, there's a decent card this weekend. It's always nice to see Katie Taylor back. Kevin Ajago should have been on there, but got injured.
He's got injured, hasn't he?
Yeah, he got a good fight on there with Jordan Gill, Kiko Martinez, and Thomas Whittaker Hart on there, fighting for the Central Area title, which is cool. Because that's like a old school domestic title, and I think he'll shine a little bit. So yeah, decent card this weekend, but I'm not going to lie, my heart is hurting about boxing.
Fucking blame you, not. If we touch on footy, lad, my heart's hurting a little bit for Stevie. Start off in the Prem before we go into Champions League.
Stevie.
What can you say about it, lad?
I think he handled it wrong, though. I've got to be honest.
Why?
I think trying to go in and be the thing with Mings was a bit weird, because he took Mings out, and I get it. If he said Mings is not my captain, I didn't inherit him, basically he's not good enough, and then Mings is in the team now making consistent mistakes and Stevie hasn't taken him out. It's just a bit contradictory to what he did, the vibes, and that divides the dressing room, because Mings will have had friends in there going, he's sitting like a cunt, him, and then that divide spreads, and then all before you know it,
But I think though his intention was good. He took him out because he wanted to take the pressure off him of being captain.
But you have to stand on it, don't you?
Yeah, but if he's took the pressure off him for being captain, he can still play him normally.
But if you take the armband off someone and then you take him out the team, when you put him back in the team, you've done nothing but add pressure, because everyone's like, oh, fucking Tyrone Mings is shit, let's just watch it. Oh shit, Gerard said he's shit. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think that is his biggest problem, which is shown by the result he got straight after he left.
Lad, I thought that was so cheeky though with the players, lad.
I think he lost his dressing room a long time ago.
He must have lost it. How would you play 1 week? Like,
they were 3-0 up in 20 minutes.
Lad,
Ings was fucking scored left, right and centre.
I would love to have just had a little goggle box on Stevie, just sitting there watching them go 3-0 up after 20 minutes. How does that happen?
Oh, it's just effort.
That's players down and tools and not being asked.
Want him out, because it's his fault, not theirs, isn't it? But I
don't
know.
Shady,
they brought Emery in, haven't they? I think
that could be good for him.
I think it could be good, because he's done a lot with, in La Liga with limited resources. I think the only problem I have is I don't know whether his style translates from La Liga to the Prem.
I think he had a hard kind of attempt there at Arsenal, because everyone talks about United and how United were destined to struggle after Ferguson. Arsenal were destined to struggle after Wenger, and he was one of the first managers after him, after Wenger. So
yeah, I think in hindsight he didn't do as bad as what people thought at the time.
I don't think so.
But yeah, it's different though, innit? It's different playing the way he plays with Villa, when you're a team they're trying to bridge the gap from like 14th, 15th, 16th to Europe, aren't they? Whereas it's a different way of football, it's a different way of winning games. I don't know whether he brings that side to.
I know, but Villarreal and who else was he with?
Sevilla,
like, especially Villarreal. I don't think they weren't as bad as Villa, but they weren't.
But that's what I think.
Top four.
The style over there is pretty consistent in games, isn't it? I don't know whether he's got in him to go to, like, say Villa needed a point away at Everton, for example. That's hard to go there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I don't think it's a bad.
I don't think it's a bad move. He's definitely worth the gamble, but I just think it's on the precipice of going one way or the other, which is like any job, really. Isn't it?
On the point as well of kind of bridging the gap up to the top, a team who you didn't think would do quite well.
Don't start.
Newcastle are flying, lad.
Newcastle are flying. Fair play to them. I didn't see it coming, not at all. But it's not just. They're not just winning, it's the way they're winning. They're like dominating games and stuff.
Yeah, and if they go in January as well and start spending a few more quid.
Yeah. I mean, they'll still finish 7th or 8th, but
I think top 6, maybe.
Well, probably at the expense of us.
I don't want to talk about Liverpool.
We're going to have to, because our form of draw, loss, win, loss is fucking depressing. I don't know. Yeah, you are right with Newcastle, by the way. You are very correct. But we... would you now, after 12 games, have thought we'd be 3 points away from Everton?
No. It's it is proper worrying in the sense that, listen, my big thing was, I don't know, and I'm fascinated within leadership in business and sport and, relationships and how you get the best out of people. I don't know at the start of the season how Klopp could sit everyone down and go, lads, you've played 68 games last season, 66 of them were perfect, but 2 of them we fucked up in. We would have won everything if we'd won them 2. This season I want the same again, but just for another 2 games.
with no one else.
Players are going, oh, fucking hell, boss.
Mm.
You know, we done everything we could for fucking 66 games out of 68.
Yeah. This ties in with a question from Patreon, which people can get involved in if they're not on Patreon. Benjamin Ridley said, do you think Klopp has lost the plot a bit, especially considering how much he's moaned about City spending and Liverpool spend more than the majority of the league every season? But I think the reason I say that is because it ties into what you say. How much of what we're doing lies with Klopp? I think a fair bit, because some of his substitutions are fucking stupid, lad.
Like what?
At Forest the other day, he took our 3 best players off.
I was at Forest, lad. It was the worst performance I've seen in 5 years.
It was, but the 3 players who were showing anything, he took off.
You don't know if they've had injuries or what, do you? I don't know. He's thinking ahead.
He this week, lad. Well, Thiago burst. It wasn't Thiago. It was Carvalho. He come on this week, didn't he?
You know, mate, I'm honestly like dumbfounded. I don't even know what the answers are when you talk about Liverpool. You see that result against City. It was amazing. Everyone's going, the crowd's back together. It was brilliant. West Ham kind of got over the line. And then Forest, it's like, what the fuck's going on? And mate, I haven't got the answers. I don't know.
The bad thing for me is, if we got beat by City because they're a better footy team than us, then I'm cool with that. It is what it is. That's football. That's sport. You get beat by a better team, hold your hands up and walk off the pitch. We got beat by Forest because they wanted to win more than us. Mate, their players should not be getting close to ours, even at depleted strength. The likes of Ryan Yates, centre mid. Like,
do you think there's a bit of
solid player, but that's it?
We've obviously got more internationals than them. Do you think there's a bit of our internationals thing about the World Cup?
Yeah, probably. But I also think it's a lack of desire to win. I think a lot of them have won a lot of things, and I think if a lot of them now, if they retired tomorrow, they'd be all right.
What about the sense of?
And I also think there's players in our team just aren't good enough.
What about the sense of play? The teams though, just figuring Liverpool out.
That's okay, but we're playing a different way. I think sometimes.
So therefore, then you can't compare them to how we've been if we're playing it a completely different way.
No, you can't. But you shouldn't ever just play one way anyway. Do you know what I mean? That's a mistake. But there's a lot of our players, in my opinion, just aren't good enough. I know Gomez played against City, but he's proven for the last 5 years that he'll never be a number 1 centre half at Liverpool. How long's Curtis Jones been around the first team?
I think I don't like to dog any players, but I don't think Curtis Jones is good enough for Liverpool. Like,
no, I don't.
I love the idea of he's a local lad and that, and it's great, and I'd love to see him, do well here. But if you want Liverpool to be the creme de la creme, I don't think Curtis Jones gets in that starting 11.
It's genuinely not about emotion. If he goes on to be a Liverpool player, great. But how long has he been around the first team now? 2-3 years. You have to break into it by that point.
Oh, no.
The likes of Elliott and Carvalho have gone past him.
Yeah,
they would get played before him.
So
you have to ask questions.
Yeah, mate.
I think there's a lot of. You're gonna see now who really wants to, because unless anyone's doubting it, we are in a proper underdog battle to make top 4.
Oh yeah, top 4 is gonna be. That's gonna be the title race for us. Top 4.
So don't even look ahead. And people talk about Arsenal and all that. They're not gonna win it, by the way, because they will fall off a cliff. But like, you're not gonna get to there even if you beat City, so you're gonna have to get top 4, and that just is what it is this year.
Yeah.
But that said, there's a fucking lot of pressure next year. Lot of it.
The other thing as well, Everton going across the park. Everton only won 2 games this season,
Yeah, I know, but it's the manner in which they're not getting beat anymore, which means they'll always be okay. I think we said before the start of the season, they're currently in 12th now. They've won 3. So Everton played 12.
They won at the weekend, sorry.
Won 3, drawn 4, lost 5, scored 11.
Good win for them at the weekend,
Scored
by the
11, conceded 12. They know full well that they can't attack. They're becoming a pretty difficult team to beat. And if they finish 12th at the end of the season, I think they'd be made up.
Did you see the team goalie done? It's fucking brilliant.
But I think their signings, pretty the opposite of what we've done, have been really good. Like, outside of Haaland, who's an anomaly, I don't think there's been a better sign all season than Cody or Tarkowski.
No,
so far.
Listen, people who listen to the show will know I was like, Everton are getting relegated unless they start signing players, and they've signed 3 or 4 belter additions to the squad, and that's why they're doing well.
The issue is they can't attack.
Yeah, but mate, they're doing well compared to where they were last year.
I'd rather be in that position, a very solid defensive team, and then go and spend me money in the upcoming transfers getting better attackers than be a really good attacking team who just flagging goals. That's a harder thing
it's
to
more
fix.
frustrating. It's demoralising as well if you just fucking...
Do you reckon Cody and Tarkovsky are going to go to the World Cup?
I'd have Cody, and I just think he's just a great team, a great lad to have around the place. He seems
I think that's a big thing as well in World Cups and that.
Especially you're going away for 4, 5, 6 weeks. You need someone there who's a good lad and good laugh. And
them two look like they've just gone in and just gone changed the place. It's just two fellas. I know you've got decent pros there like Seamus Coleman and people like that who've been around for a long time, probably got a great attitude and all that stuff. But them two have just gone in and put defensive standards in. We're not getting beat easy. It's not happening.
No.
And I think that says a lot, even in modern football, where it's all about, this stupid thing that Pep and we've even started doing, where they're starting to put right back, centre mid in the middle of the game, which is stupid. But them two have just gone basics. We aren't conceding goals.
Don't want to harp on again about Liverpool, but I don't understand Trent's positioning, by the way. Even last night in the Champions League.
Yeah,
he's like left wing almost at one point.
I was watching, so I was doing something last night, so I was looking down and up, so I didn't watch the whole game eagle eye, but there's no reason to put your right back centre mid at any point in the game. There's a reason he doesn't play centre mid, because he's not good enough to play there.
It's just a completely different position.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But if Trent was a centre mid, he'd be playing centre mid by now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think he's got fucking serious.
I don't think he'll go to the World Cup.
But in reality, he's only going if Reece James doesn't recover. He's not playing well enough, lad. If everyone's honest.
So anyway, yeah.
Depressing.
Not great on the old Liverpool or
But
anything.
that said,
before we go on the Champions League, did you see Ronaldo
walking off?
That's bad, isn't it?
Yeah, fucking throwing your toys out the pram at 37. You need to fucking grow up, don't you?
He's just a knobhead now. I get he doesn't want to be there and stuff, but just such a bad example to set.
I quite rate what that Ten Hag's done.
Yeah.
Does that sound? Don't want to buy in. Don't play. End of. It's hard.
Apparently he refused to go on as well.
Yeah,
though.
that's ego, lad. Mentally, he is just can't come around to the fact that he's no longer the player he was.
He's not the big dog anymore.
No. Big dog's got a small ball now, lad.
Where does he go though?
MLS. But it might be hard for him knowing that Leo's over in France fucking pulling free kicks in left, right and centre.
Yeah. What was it? He's the oldest player to score and assist 2 goals. I think. 2 assists.
I've seen a free kick he scored in a recent game. Just that's just not human.
Oh no,
Have you seen Kasper Schmeichel's face when he scores a free kick past him?
Nah.
He's fuming, lad. It's that Kasper Schmeichel has done
his
everything
homework to find. Yeah.
He's put his wall in the right place. He's standing in the right place. Yeah. Everything's done, but it just goes in. He's
he is the greatest. That's why his boots up on the wall there, lad. Ronaldo's isn't.
He is the greatest of all time, without doubt. But Champions League, yeah.
Yeah. So Rangers are gonna have the worst ever. I think they're gonna be the worst team.
I bet you Napoli get to the Champions League final.
Nah, it's a bold shot, lad.
Get on this. I said to me, so I've took a mad interest in Serie A this year. Loved it. And I said to me, Napoli could well do, this is bold, I said they could well do Serie A and the Champions League this year. And he was like, how much did they for Champions League? They were 50-1. This was the game just before they played us. They're now 14-1.
Ah, do you? Did you ever go out on 50? Oh.
Stupid. But I'll take pleasure in stopping it. But mate, they are as impressive as a team as I've watched in a long time.
Yeah. But they put a few past Rangers yesterday, and now Rangers have scored 1, I think conceded 19.
It's hard when, I think Van Bronckhorst summed it up quite well. He was like, this is just an immense level that we're not at. So they've had a great experience, you know what I mean, but they weren't ready for it. But I think they've got an outside chance of qualifying for Europa, haven't they, through there?
I don't think so.
No. So I've read that they could maybe get in there, but yeah, if they don't, then it's still an experience, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
No. Yeah, no, I think they're fucked. Conte and Spurs.
Mad this.
It actually cost me 270 quid, this fucking goal.
Yeah. It was offside.
Well, I didn't think it was at the time, but now that I've looked back and stuff, yeah. Probably was.
I mean, as we just spoke about off air, the problem comes when everyone's talking about going backwards, deflection this, deflection that. Just, in my opinion, the old school rule, he was offside.
Yeah, he was ahead of the ball, so
offside. So
that's it.
But the whole thing, the bigger picture of Conte trying to get him out and is he gonna? That's mad.
Well, he's kind of basically give the board a bit of an ultimatum and said, if you don't go to UEFA, I'm gonna bail, basically. Well,
but he said that last year, didn't he? And I think he makes it clear when he goes into clubs that, you know, he's got no problem walking away if you aren't going to buy in. And I think that's where he's at. But Spurs want to be careful, mate. They got a big old fucking overhead line over them and that great big pitch and stadium, and they're getting no returns for it at the minute. It's quickly that can quickly turn from a glitzy, glamorous stadium that hosts the NFL to an absolute, you know, just pouring money into it. I
must admit, listen, feeling sorry for him. It's not I feel sorry for him, but I do feel for Harry Kane. You know,
I don't.
Lad, he's not gonna win. You know, when his career is done, all right, yeah, he'll be a millionaire and he'll go to
United or something next year.
But he won't, lad, you know. I just think he'll stay there, and he's not won one single honour.
That's on him, though, lad.
But how mad's that, though?
Yeah,
he'll go down as he'll probably break Alan Shearer's record.
Yeah.
So he'll go down as the greatest ever English striker, and he's never won a fucking thing.
He still scored 10 this season.
Yeah, but lad, he's never going to win anything.
No, he's not.
And I do feel a bit sorry for him.
I don't. It fully rests on him.
He's looking at Haaland, though, at City. He's going to win everything in the next probably year, never mind his career. And he's just probably thinking, that could have been me.
Yeah, but I think Kane's now this side of his best. I think Haaland's just a better Kane. Do you know what I mean? He's just a better player than Kane. I don't think if Harry Kane was at City, I don't think he either scored or made the impact Haaland does.
Yeah, here's one. Gerrard and Kane have got similarities in the sense that, yes, Gerrard stayed at Liverpool and was kind of guilted into staying at Liverpool, but thankfully Stevie still won a few things. Kane's almost been guilted by the fans. He's been, you know, the owners, the new managers. Listen, Harry, just give me one more season. Honestly, I'm going to... And okay. And he's done that. And now, you know, you've got you sitting there going, he's past his best now.
Yeah.
And he's now going, well, still not winning.
He is past his best, but he's still scoring goals, so he will get a move next year. He will, 100%. But it just won't be to City. He'll end up going to, like, I'll tell you exactly where he'll go. Like
Newcastle.
No, he won't. Well, he could actually.
Imagine that,
it's not a bad shout, you know. That's a good shout. Very good shout. I reckon he'll go to, like, Bayern Munich or somewhere like that and he'll win stuff.
What, and say get Mane out the team? No.
Yeah, Mane's not staying there for very long, lad.
Do you think?
Nah, they're already divided on him on whether he's good enough. He
scored last night.
No, I know he does, but they're still divided on whether he's good enough or not. Kane will go to somewhere and he'll win a couple at the back end of his career, but when he goes to bed at night, in a couple of years, the same way Stevie does, he will regret not leaving.
Do you reckon Stevie does?
100%, lad. When Steven Gerrard, no interview, no friends, no nothing. When Steven Gerrard looks in the mirror,
he's alone at night.
When Steven Gerrard gets his kit off and about to get in the shower, he has a little glance in the mirror. He looks and just goes, "You bastard! Why didn't they go 05 when it was like when 120 grand a week weren't known and they were offering him it?" And he does. I know. Just take your Liverpool off for a bit. He does regret not leaving.
But you could say that about Alan Shearer in Newcastle.
100%, and I reckon he does as well. Lad, you'd only get one chance at that career, and I
know that, but
understand.
he'd never be the legend he is now, though.
I know, but I think he would care more about winning the Premier League. Ask him what his biggest regret is. It's not winning the Premier League. He
was photos going into the Bowie in Highton, and
some booze at the Bowie.
Yeah, I've been in there, lad. He ain't going in there, lad, if he's fucking played for United and Chelsea.
I know he's not, but he could go to bed at night with a Premier League winner.
Nah, lad. Disagree.
Take your scouse head off. You would, in this selfish world of football, you sacrifice everything to win, and he should have done it. Yeah. Although I'm thankful he didn't because he made my childhood, but he should have.
Anyway,
I would have.
The other thing as well, lads, again, more hypocrisy. The Qatar World Cup's only 3 weeks away.
Yeah,
didn't realise only 3 weeks away.
I'm watching a game.
So ITV announced all the hypocrites.
Yeah.
Presenters who are going
Nev's going in, fucking Keir Starmer's undies. He's going.
I'm reading his book at the minute, it's good, you know.
He's a wanker.
Do you know what I've done though by mistake? Because I'm an absolute idiot. I downloaded Gary Neville's book thinking it was his latest one.
It's the old school.
And it was autobiography from about 5 years ago, which was still a decent read. It was still a decent read, to be fair.
He's a bigger hypocrite than Eddie Hearn.
Anyway, so his new book's really good actually. It's about football and all that, the Super Leagues and all that kind of stuff. He's going out there, but I listened to an interesting thing on Talk Sport, and this could divide opinion as well. The whole, which by the way, my area of a bone zone would be great. I think that still stands. Drinking zone, a bone zone. You know, if you want to be
it's
gay.
It's much better as a bone zone than what you previously called it.
A bumming zone. Well, I know that wasn't quite PC, so it's now a bone zone. You go there if you want to be gay, fine. You go there if you want to have a beer. You know what I mean? Because I do agree, yeah, as fucked up as it is that they don't allow gay people over there, you still got to acknowledge, like, you know, it's like when I went to Rio de Janeiro for the carnival. Yeah, I loved being in Brazil and that, but I'm fucking wary that I don't go down the favelas at fucking 1 a.m.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You've got to be you've got to be switched on. So if you're gay going to Qatar, you know it's not right, but you've still got to be switched on to think, I'm not going to be fucking stupid. Do you know what I mean?
There's a great way to solve it though. Just don't give it to countries who are so far behind.
Well, yeah, but it's fucking, we're past that now, aren't we? The point I was going to like controversially get to, you go in there for the World Cup to watch a football match. If you turn up with your gay pride flag, are you kind of just poking the beast a bit there?
Yeah.
Or is it the whole, you should be allowed to do what you want?
I think that it's very split. It's going over there and acknowledging that they are a fucking backwards gang of lunatics, so you shouldn't go. Or you should be free to express yourself, which I truly believe in. But I would probably land, when all said and done, is you know what you're getting into by going over there, so don't go. But what about the people who have to go contractually, who are gay?
Well, that's a different one, yeah.
And that's wrong.
And I don't know the right or wrong answer, but I just think it's an interesting debate to go. There's one part of me that's like, yeah, listen, if you're gay, you know, be gay and all that, but I don't go to a football match and have a flag saying that I'm straight. No. Or that I'm like...
Yeah, but you're not ostracised by society.
Well, that's what I mean. I'll never know what that kind of is like, so it's just an interesting one to know, will it be seen as you kind of...
The fucked up thing for me, which is the bigger issue, is that a player will score at the World Cup and will run to the fans and you'll be giving him, you're the god, who has a gay partner, that if they kissed him, they'd go to jail. In the same instance. So, if he was to score a goal, the whole stadium of neutral fans would go mad for him.
Yeah.
5 minutes later, that game could finish and he could kiss his partner in the tunnel, say, well done for a great game, and he would go to jail.
Yeah.
That's the bigger issue.
Well, Australia are the first team to come out, and they've all basically like done a pact and just was like, this is wrong and all that.
Just don't go then.
Well, they're still going to go, aren't they? But...
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't care about your words. That old saying of actions speak louder than words.
Yeah.
It's just you can get on a video and go, I actually listened to it, United or something like that, you know, we unite for human rights or whatever. The best way to do it is go, we are not competing in the World Cup, so your country is not what we want to be involved in. Good luck finding another team. And eventually, if enough teams do that, they have to put enough shit teams in that the World Cup becomes irrelevant. Then no stupid tournament would ever go to one of these stupid countries.
But the problem, the big kind of elephant problem that you're missing out on,
they don't care.
Is money.
Yeah, they don't care.
They do care, but money, they just care about money.
I don't think I think there's very few people going over there who aren't affected by the crazy rules that are bothered. Them Australian players, I guarantee it, however many of them done it, they got a sheet on the morning of that and said, we've got a promotional video that we need to shoot. And they've gone, okay, what is it? What do I need to... What, I need to look in the camera and say this? All right, sound. Yeah, and then 5 minutes later, they were on the phone. You know, what is what it is. Like, I can't even remember what I said. Not one of them went...
No,
they didn't get together and go, we need to make a video because we all believe in
I just think the big problem with the World Cup's going to be, it's going to be less about the football and more about...
Yeah, it's a political thing, though.
And you're just going to see those rainbow flags everywhere. And listen, great, if you're gay, you're gay. In the nicest possible way, I couldn't give a fuck.
Yeah, and that's how it should be.
I don't care if you're gay or not. Yeah. But I just know now there's going to be like, people are going to be doing this on purpose to be like, oh, I'm gay and I'm allowed to be gay. And it's like, you are, but just don't rub it in the faces. You know that they don't want you to do that.
Yeah.
I'm a bit like on the fence with a bit like,
I don't blame anyone who does that with the flag, and I don't blame anyone who gets pissed off with it. What I blame is that someone just for money decided to put
people in this position to have to make these decisions.
And
you're right,
there's so many people who have died building these stadiums and all that stuff, and no one who's sitting in them comfy seats come the World Cup gives a flying fuck.
Oh no.
And that's the worst thing. And I don't like international football anyway, but I will not watch the World Cup.
You will.
I bet you I won't.
You will.
I bet you I won't. The only time I watch,
do not text me then going, so-and-so's going to get booked now, lad.
No, I won't, because the international bookings are crap anyway. But the only time I watch is if England gets to the semi to watch them get knocked out. That's the only thing I'll watch.
You'll be having a little bet on the footy, lad.
I won't.
You fucking will.
I promise you, on me children's lives, I will not engage with the World Cup. I promise you. And it's not even because it is. It's partly because the Qatar thing, but it's partly just because the whole thing that it represents. You can't buy into the World Cup and then go back to your club and start protesting, saying, "Get these people out of our club. We've lost our identity." You've just been buying in a week ago to all these people who've made this great World Cup.
And I'm just trying to be devil's advocate though, lad. What do you do for the players who want to play in the World Cup?
Then again, it's like what we talk about with the Saudi Arabian stuff in golf. I don't actually think it's the player's responsibility. But like I said, if you have a problem with it, then you shouldn't just go because of personal achievement or monetary gain. If you've got a genuine problem with it, then you shouldn't go. You should. That whole stand on your own 2 feet if it means you're standing alone.
But George, the other problem is though, we've only touched on football and boxing. We've already spoke about that, the hypocrisy that goes on in every walk of life. You wouldn't do anything, lad.
Exactly, and that is the problem. Yeah, but I guarantee there'll be, just to keep it close to home, there'll be Liverpool fans who watch England, and then will hold an FSG out banner up. It's just the same thing, worded a little differently.
Hypocrisy, lads. Hypocrisy.
But, hopefully England get battered by everyone.
In the golf, again, more hypocrisy. I've seen this thing. So Rory McIlroy got himself back to number one.
We haven't spoke about Rory for a while. I'm gonna enjoy this.
We're gonna jump right into him now. So basically, him and Poulter are having a little bit of back and forth. So I think McIlroy is kind of now the poster boy because he's back to being number one. He's obviously not went over to Liv. Anything that gets said about Liv, it goes through McIlroy because he's the biggest spokesperson for it. Yeah. And anyway, McIlroy was saying about he feels betrayed and stuff like that. And Poulter's come out and said that my commitment to the Ryder Cup, I think, goes before me. I don't think that this should be ever come into question. I've always wanted to play the Ryder Cups and I've played with as much passion as anyone else that I've ever seen play a Ryder Cup. This was back at McIlroy after he was described as his teammates as a betrayal. So again, hypocrisy. Hypocrisy. It's like
I want a part of Liv, but I also want to do this side of it as well. I mean, it's the whole Liv and PGA thing's getting boring, but it's like, it's.
If you want to talk more about the golf, he did retain his.
No, not. I wasn't saying get off that subject. What I'm saying is, there's only so many times you can sit at a press conference and go, they've betrayed me. I love the PGA Tour. I'm here to stay. And then the other side go, well, I'm just here because I'm a golfer. I need to maximise. There's only so many times you can have that back and forth. Do you know what I mean? And going off at just to stick on golf, going off a Patreon question last week. So this might be a little bit off now. We might have earn more money. So Liam Round said, have you seen the Netflix documentary that's coming out about this season's PGA Tour, which we talked about? Apparently it's all access and has the fallout over Liv, players being approached. Surely that's going to be unbelievable viewing. Liam and Widget, I'll be watching every episode. Get on this. Sticking with golf. Don't know if you've seen Dustin Johnson's earnings since joining Liv. In the 7 events he's played in, he's won once and earned 31 million, which roughly works out at £22,200 per shot. Then his sign-on bonus of 150 million. Do you really think he gives a fuck about the PJ and any other outside noise?
No, does he fuck?
There's a big, massive. Have you ever seen that picture with a fella there's a funny meme that goes around and it's like the fella holding the sign up and it's like, stop posting your home workouts. Yeah. I reckon Dustin Johnson just needs one of them saying, I'm not arsed. Yeah. 22 grand a shot.
That is
astounding money. But that Netflix series will be brilliant.
Wouldn't it be great though if that was his standard fee? I'd just be shanking them all over the shop.
Oh, not the bunker.
22 grand, I'd just be swinging and missing it all the time.
Going into the bunker with your driver. Yeah, I reckon I'll get out with this. Smacking it into the side.
You're going to forfeit this hole, George. It's 9 shots now. It's all right,
like that with the sandwich. Nah, leave that fella. Free wood in the bunker.
Just what you're saying, that I did proper off subject, nothing to do with sport though. You know Harry Potter, the guy who plays.
Love that.
Do you know who plays Draco Malfoy?
Draco Malfoy.
Draco. Do you know that over the 6 films or 7 films there is?
Yeah, he had like 8 lines.
So he was in it for I think 31 minutes.
Yeah.
But got I don't know, 30 million.
Tom Felton.
They've worked out he got something like 450 grand a minute. Now him and Dustin are living life. Him and Dustin.
Draco, man, he was my...
Who has got the... I want to know who's got the, like, the, you know, for minutes worked.
Yeah, that's a great shout. Someone worked that out.
Draco Malfoy
or Dustin Johnson.
Dustin Johnson.
Yeah, I hated Draco Malfoy as a kid.
What would you rather do? Get paid $500,000 a minute to be on Harry Potter, or 22 grand a shot for the rest of your golfing career?
Potter. Just to be involved. Just want to be involved.
That's what the sportscast has come to. There's that much hypocrisy in the world.
My dream as a kid was to be in Potter, you know.
Well, I had a kid in our school who went to apply, like, audition for it.
To be Potter or just to be in?
Yeah, to be Harry Potter, yeah. Didn't obviously get in, like.
Someone I know knew one of the characters who played Crab and Goyle, and after Potter faded out, he got done for growing weed, got put in jail.
Did he? Yeah. So he never made enough money from it, like?
No, he was just... No, I don't think so, but the couple of main events in the cast, they were flying, aren't they?
Yeah.
Daniel Radcliffe's rolling in it, mate.
Yeah.
And he got it because he had gigs.
I would have fucking more gigs if I knew what it was going to come to.
Oh, lad, he's landed on a fucking...
There's some proper changes of subject here, lad. So in other sport, right, there's about 50 sportswomen, right, have come out. Here's a story that you didn't think you'd be talking about today, lad. They've come out, and the new kind of claim is, or the new, not claim, but like the new hashtag is, call it a period.
Call it a period?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, in terms of the menstrual cycle?
Yeah, so basically they're just saying that, like, let me just get the article.
Wait, this is a huge issue, I think, in terms of...
Yeah, so basically, a group of 50 elite female athletes, including a Commonwealth, European and Olympic medalists, have all joined forces to say to people, say period, and standardise the language around the female body. We have so many euphemisms, and ultimately it's your period. So words like, you know, ant flow and girl stuff, and, you know, all these all these words, it's just saying, look, it's a fucking period.
Yeah, just say it for what it is.
Just say it's a period. And I think, like...
Yeah. Acknowledging it is the fucking first step.
Yeah. And it's like, so for example, people who are swimming, you know, women who are swimming and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Again, it's, you know, again, you've got to respect women even more, haven't you, really, for going through what they're going through. Trying to be the top number one in there, you know, whatever sport it is.
I'm dealing with that.
And they're going through a period, and it's like, I don't know, little things like, you know, you're in a little fucking swimsuit.
Yeah, it's very uncomfortable, isn't it?
And you're like, oh shit, am I...
Yeah. A lot of them, which is the darker side of it, I'm not an expert in this, so, you know, and I'm not qualified to talk on it, but from what I've read, a lot of them will take prolonged doses of birth control and stuff to avoid...
Well...
And that can be dangerous.
He says, the national governing body doctor I had at the time recommended the way to fix the problem was to go on the pill and put me on the pill that a lot of other girls on the teams have been put on. I was going to be in control when I had my period, so I could never have my period when I competed again. And I thought, that's great, that's brilliant. But that was my mindset for 17 years of competing. It didn't do me any harm, but looking back at it, 2 words I hate associated with your period is the word fix and problem. It's not a problem.
It's a natural thing,
that doesn't need fixing.
Yeah, and
do you know what I mean?
I think there's a lot of studies, scientific studies, that go on to say, like, prolonged use of birth control can, you know, hamper you when you do want to start.
Yeah. Can mess up your periods big time.
What women need to... Why it needs attention is, you know, there was a rugby player, Shauna Brown, who said if she decides to have a baby, it ends her career. That's mad.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Any man who has a baby, it's like celebrated. Harry Kane scored and he only had a baby 2 days ago. Do you know what I mean? Like a woman has one and the career's over, mate.
He's recovered well to bag a brace today.
No, but that's what it is, like. And his partner just giving birth, hope the well.
Oh, and look at him with a celebration.
Yeah.
Wow,
what
a hero.
And like his fucking missus hasn't, career's done.
I know.
It's wrong, but
it is wrong, yeah. So
I think the first step is acknowledging that it happens and stop trying to mask it.
Yeah, acknowledging that women do have periods. From other sports as well, O'Sullivan, he lost in a tournament the other day, didn't he? And he just said, I'm not asked. He just come on, so it was like,
fuck that.
It does not excite me anymore. He said, if I play well, I play well. If I don't, I don't.
It's quite sad, that.
But he's been like that for years now. He said,
gone, and he just wants to go and play pub snooker.
I thought that was interesting and quite funny, Ronnie, saying that. And then more hypocrisy from athletics. So there's a guy,
we go again on our own.
Stephen Maguire. He's come out and he said, or they've come out and said that. Where is it? So it's the UK Athletics Technical Director Stephen Graham has come out and said about a lad, CJ Ujar, who got a 22-month suspension. It's going to end next summer. He said he can compete again. So he was a 28-year-old sprinter who was suspended following his positive test after helping Team GB to a 4x100 silver at last year's Tokyo Olympics. He was backdated a 22-month ban, but was cleared of intentionally taking a prohibited substance, and now he's allowed to compete again.
He failed. End of.
It's fucking mad, mate, you know. Mate, but you wonder whether I'm getting a bit too deep and all that. You're moaning about like what society's like, the future's like, because young people now, whether it's in sport, whether it's like Ronaldo walking down the tunnel, whether it's boxers cheating on drug tests, when it's people in athletics doing that, whether it's golfers getting paid 150 million quid,
the example being
whether it's politics, that woman who got sacked and then she got brought back in last week just because she voted for Sunak.
Yeah, she's a knobby, by the way.
Whatever it is, whatever role these people in the public eye are setting, it's fucking not good for society, and it's not good for the youth for tomorrow.
But that's exactly, and that's where it comes back down to. It's all about personal gain. It's all about personal achievements, personal monetary gain. It's not. No one cares about setting an example. There's like, I think that should be the next hashtag. No one cares, because they don't. No politician cares about what the example is saying. No footy player does.
How sad is that though?
That's the state of the world, though, mate.
I know.
And it's so, it's, as you say, the right word is sad. But I was just looking down our list of Patreon questions from last week. When it sparked in my mind about like how, you know, shit sport can be sometimes. It's meant to be escapism. Every one of them, or most of them, are about something that's gone wrong in sport.
What, all the questions?
Yeah, like what we touched on the other day. And this is not a dig at anyone's questions, but these are the talking points. Dennis Barlow asked about what we've touched on with Fiore Chisora. Sort of, you know, they're going outside. They're doing outside in December just because it makes more money.
Yeah.
In theory. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But by the way, an interesting thing here, the lowest ever pay-per-view buy, according to Dennis, which is a great stat, was Kell Brook versus Michael Jennings at 15,000 buys. How many buys do you think Fiore?
Lower than that, lad.
Lower than 15,000?
Yeah, lad, I don't. I'm not interested.
No, I'm not. We won't go back onto it, but that's a very interesting stat, that Michael Jennings one.
Do you know who I do care about though? Because I'm not. Yeah.
You always care about it. I reckon you've got pictures of Emma Raducanu in yours. You act like you hate her, but you love it.
I don't hate her. I don't act like I hate her either. But anyway, she was training with this Tursunov.
Dmitry Tursunov.
And he's decided not to continue coaching her at the end of a trial period because there was some red flags.
Red flag.
That he could not ignore. You know what she's ranked? You know what my biggest problem is with the tennis ranking system?
Yeah.
She's gone to 76th in the world now.
On the way back? What was she? She was 140, wasn't she?
Yeah, initially, and then she won the bloody US Open.
Oh, she gone back down?
And went to about fucking 10th. Now she's 76th again.
He said she's probably a 2.5 year project. Her game is very raw. How did she win that tourney?
I know. It's a Leicester, you know. She's Leicester.
5,000 to 1.
Emma Raducanu is Leicester.
I think it's a lesson in momentum. Anything you need in life is all down to momentum. If you get on a roll, you're rolling.
Hey, you're rolling either sometimes
that way or that way,
uphill or downhill.
Yeah, if you're going downhill, you're fucked.
No, it's happened to me in my life. You know, when things are going well, you're like, boom, everything I touch turns to gold. I'm like, fuck me.
Yeah, this is it.
And then when things haven't been going so well, everything I touch fucking turns to a fucking speeding fine or something.
Everything touch turns to an envelope through the door.
Yeah. But that's life. Sometimes you're on the up, sometimes you're on the down, and unfortunately for her,
she's got to do it in the public eye.
She's which is really shitty on her.
Yeah.
But
burning through coaches the way she is though, you know, there's got to be something in there. She's got to have someone round her, or you know, a payment term. Something's got to be off.
Well, he's now coaching the Olympic champion, so it's not as if he's
a shit coach.
Yeah. So
very strange, very, very strange.
I seen Serena just said as well she's not yet done.
Oh, don't say that. I was like standing up in the living room, giving her a standing ovation.
She said she's not 100% done. She's
gonna be like Tom Brady in the NFL. I've got bang into the NFL this year. Tom Brady retired for like 23 days. Come back and now he's really struggling.
Sorry, the last thing on tennis is also more hypocrisy. Is Halep failed a drug test and now she's saying that she didn't.
What's new? How did that get there?
Honestly,
I reckon we should ban.
We'd have nothing to talk about. You
want to say we should ban drug test chat, but I think we've done 2 hours of drug test chat this week.
The only thing to finish on is UFC.
Yeah.
So good news, obviously Paddy and Darren Till are on the same card in Vegas, which is an outside chance I might be going to.
Yeah, heavy that. Some card that.
Yeah.
Main event's unreal, but then
What is the main event?
Glover Teixeira versus Yuri Prochazka, so a rematch of one of the best fights of the year.
Okay.
Banger.
Till's fighting?
Dricos du Plessis, South African wrecking machine. Pretty hard fight that to come back to.
And Paddy just this week, he said he should be
Jared
alright.
Gordon, yeah, he should beat Jared Gordon, yeah. Jared Gordon's a good fella, once addicted to heroin.
Well.
Which is a little bit of a crazy backstory.
Okay.
Once openly addicted to heroin, yet why competing in MMA? Yeah, but I think this is a fight that they've probably had their eye on for a while. I think as long as Paddy cuts weight the right way, he should, in theory, take a nice logical step up, but get a finished victory.
I've seen that he's got a few more weeks as well than he normally did the last few weeks, so he's planning on making the weight cut up a lot more.
Yeah, it should be a lot smoother, yeah. I mean, 282...
Not that he struggled, but I mean...
UFC 282 is December 10th, yeah, so I think he's got to have been in training now for 2-3 weeks, I'd imagine. So yeah, I think he will be okay. But the one thing with Paddy is when it's time to train, he trains, mate. Yeah,
that's the thing that I know. Like, I don't think it bothers him, but it's like it makes him laugh. Where people think he struggles with weight, he's never missed a weight.
No.
So
I think he missed one. I don't know whether he missed or he looked really bad in Cage Warriors. But he's been open about back in the day. You know, he was living. I think when Paddy now is outside of his commercial commitments, he does live like an athlete. He doesn't. You know, he's not drinking all the time and stuff.
I don't even think he likes having a bevy.
Exactly. So yeah, I mean, to get them both on the same card is great. Well, Ilya Toypora's on there as well, who Paddy and him had an altercation at London, so that'll be interesting in Vegas. Like,
thanks, you're not staying in their hotel.
Yeah, don't want to be room next to them too.
What's on this weekend?
Arnold Allen, a British fighter, fighting Calvin Kattar, which is a great fight. But the one thing we didn't do is because we weren't here last week, we didn't talk about UFC 280, did we? After Makhachev beat our boy my boy Charles Oliveira.
Yeah.
Some performance that, you know.
I know.
He's a beast, him.
I was watching it and I had that annoying thing happen to me where I had my betting app up and it come up as a loss when I was watching it and I was like, hang on, how's he? And I looked up and he just got...
Really? The thing is, the mad thing is, he never fought anyone, and then to go and do that is just incredible. But I think there's rumours that Charles Oliveira was cutting weight from Tuesday. That's a long way out there to be like cutting weight. So I'm not saying he would have won by any stretch of the imagination, but you know, there's no way you can be cutting weight from Tuesday and be you know, in any sort of decent shape. But yeah, Makhachev obviously looks like they said he was Khabib 2.0 and he looks pretty much like that. But yeah, he's going to go to Australia now and fight Volkanovski. He's the 145 champion, so 2 belts like McGregor. Our boy McGregor's not coming back.
Well, I seen Dana was talking about someone else and he said that they've got to be on the testing program for 6 months.
Yeah, he's out of it. He's out of the testing pool. That's why he's got straps like what he's got.
And McGregor's just looking around like the Hulk.
Yeah, he's doing a movie and he Roadhouse.
What is that, Roadhouse?
It's a film years ago in the 80s, like a remake.
So what's it about?
So I think Jake Gyllenhaal's playing a former UFC fighter who's now like a doorman. I think the story goes on from there. But apparently Connor's in it but not playing himself. I don't know who he's playing.
Really,
yeah, so it's a real acting gig, like. But yeah, there was loads to talk about on 280. Really, I know the time's passed a little bit, but it's funny to see Leon Edwards out there as the champ now.
Yeah.
Do you know what he said? He was like, I'm so ready to get back to training. He's like, I can't balance the two. He said, but since I become champ, they want me everywhere. I think he got invited to Dubai and then flew out. Obviously got from Dubai to Abu Dhabi for the event. He's been out in like, you know, Vegas doing all this stuff, and he's like, I'm just ready to get back training.
He's the champ now though, isn't he?
They're doing it at Cardiff, apparently.
The rematch?
Cardiff 8.
How do you think he's going to feel going into that rematch? Because he weren't winning the fight, was he? It was a kick from the gods that won it.
But it's like the one thing is it's a bit more it's a bit different. I mean, Usman's still the favourite in my opinion, but it's a bit different when you like get a sly point victory that you shouldn't have got. Laddie kicked him in the head.
I know that,
it was a mental mistake. Yeah. Do you know what he puts on Usman? But yeah, it was interesting for him to see, like, because Leon's never been a big media guy or nothing like that. It was interesting for him to be like, you know, this is not me. You know what I mean? Need to get back to Birmingham training. But yeah, apparently March 18th next year, Cardiff.
That'll be interesting.
Day before Mother's Day. So that throws a spanner in the works for a load of people. Like that. Oh, Mum, I'm so sorry. But yeah, it was a good card. And talking about drug cheats, TJ Dillashaw, who actually got caught putting EPO in his ass. he got calmer, good and proper, because he fought Aljamain Sterling for the bantamweight belt and got filled in, but apparently he broke his or dislocated his shoulder in April, and it come out 20 times.
Seeing that, yeah.
And then as soon as the fight started, it come out, but shouldn't be fighting really. Do you
No.
know what I mean? But yeah, I was glad to watch someone who openly done drugs, even though all this week there was like a rhetoric of like he's changed and all that. It was good to see someone who actually done drugs just get battered for 2 rounds. So hope that he's got a bit of a sore face still.
Decent card this weekend then as well, or quietish?
Yeah, it is. It's one of them Apex cards, but obviously the main sort of fight has got Arnold Allen in, who's a British fighter. We actually watched him at UFC London. So yeah, he's fighting Calvin Kattar, which is the biggest fight of his career. So yeah, that'll be go big on that on the betting show.
Yeah.
So we got that, and then obviously, as I say, Katie Taylor, which we touched on earlier. Yeah, good weekend for combat sports. But just leading into the next big UFC card is 281, which is December 12th in New York, which is Molly's on there, yeah. But it's also Adesanya fighting Pereira, and Pereira's the guy who knocked Adesanya.
November 12th, did you?
Yeah, November 12th, yeah.
You said December.
Did I? Sorry, November 12th, yeah. Pereira's the guy who knocked Adesanya out in kickboxing. The only time he's ever been knocked out.
Yeah.
And then obviously
Molly's the outside of this, you said?
2-1, yeah. It's a fucking hard fight, you know.
Is this the one where the meatball train comes to a...
No, I don't think it's some card, by the way. My God. But yeah, I don't think so much. It's like...
It's going to be hard for her, though. Big step up.
Yeah, I think it's the most competitive fight she's been in the UFC by far. Erin Blanchfield's like 22, some prodigy. But, you know, you can't... Molly's earned the right to be on a pay-per-view card, to fight in a 50-50. And if she wins this, she's genuinely not far from a world title shot. She could be next. But, like, I mean, it's a very difficult fight for her, but... You know, she's earned the right to be in them. She'd rather be in this in a difficult fight than, you know, be stacked away on some, you know, prelim somewhere. She's on the prelims in fucking Madison Square Garden, mate.
Yeah, be exciting
That's
to start talking about that next week.
Yeah, but yeah, we're rolling on. I think we've done a good old meaty show today, lad.
Yeah, no, apologies again last couple of weeks. Don't forget, if you want your Monster X gear, get onto Patreon. It's £1 a week. You get invited onto a raffle automatically every week. You got our sponsors. We've got Veer Clothing, 20% off, Health Kit Kitchen, and German Farmer for all your multivitamins, etc. All the links are in the bio. Thanks for supporting. Thanks for putting up with us, and we'll see you on Wednesday.
See ya.